Well, hello, my friends, YouTubers. How's everybody doing? Well, we finally got a day where the temperature is above freezing. In fact, it's in the 60s today after being below zero for a few weeks, and the ground is still actually kind of hard, and you can see the ice still out there in the street melting. But my Land Rover that I bought, 6 months ago, I parked it, and I intended to really get some stuff done to it, and it just turned out to be a big mess. I had other projects and things happen, and I had to put this project off to the side. So today, being a new year, almost a new year, it's like the, 9th, 10th of the month of January. I want to go ahead and start tinkering with this and do an oil change today. I'm going to eventually have to pull the heads off on this. I do know that I have a head leaking down here. I have a bad head gasket on this side and on the passenger side, so I'm going to have to tear this engine apart. Eventually put some head gaskets on it. I want to go ahead and change the oil for now, and you're probably saying, well, why are you going to do that? Well, I know the oil and the moisture, a lot of times when you have head gaskets blown, sometimes the moisture will get in with the oil. Well, I don't have that issue, so the oil is a little dirty, so I figured I'd go ahead and change it anyway and let it run a while before I put it in the garage and tear it apart. And the reason I want to do that, I want to keep the engine, inside the engine, as clean as possible, because when I pull these heads off, I may end up getting a little bit of sludge and debris back into the oil. You know, you can never keep the engine 100% clean when you're doing head work, when you're pulling the heads off and all that. But I wanted to go ahead and run it for just a little bit before I put it in the garage and make sure I don't have any other issues. These Land Rovers, especially the 4.0s, they are notorious for having the sleeve inside the engine block come loose, and that can be a very bad day. But turns out, I think this engine is in pretty good shape because I've had it running a little bit. I don't hear any noise, and usually when those sleeves come loose in the cylinders, when you first start up, you hear a really bad ticking noise. I don't have any engine ticking. The engine sounds really good. I just wanted to change the oil, put some good oil in, and go ahead and start it up and run it a while before I work on it. And now you can see I had it in the garage, and you can see where it's leaking antifreeze on this side a little bit. So that I'll show you where it's leaking here in a little bit, around the front of the block, the head, where the head gasket is, here in a few minutes, after I changed the oil. Now I went out and just bought 5 quarts of oil. I have a cheap oil filter I'm going to put on, nothing fancy, because after I do all this head work and stuff with the engine and put it back together, I'm going to eventually put another oil filter on it and change the oil one more time. So let's go ahead and start this up real quick. I'll give you a listen to it. And like I said, it's set for about 6 months, and I really had intended to get this thing running by now, but life comes at you fast sometimes. So I got a new battery on it, and it seems to start up pretty good now. Let me get it running here. Now I do know I'm going to have to put on I have to put a sensor on it, on the engine out there. I'll show you here in a second where that's at. Let me get it idling a little bit better. It's got 147,000 miles. Alright, and I'm going to put another radio in it. But I think I did a review on this earlier. It's in really good shape. It's just got some cosmetic stuff on the inside that's bad. All power windows, seats are in really good shape. There's a back of it. Give you guys a quick tour. Plates are dead, of course. I just got it legal yesterday. I got brand new plates to stick on it. And there's the side of it. So it's looking pretty good, and I got brand new tires on it. Someone's got a new exhaust on it too. I don't know if you can hear that. Sounds pretty good, and you can see my tires. They're like brand new. I even have a spare that's brand new. So I got this. I got a really good deal with this vehicle. So there's the engine. It's running, and you see it sounds really great. It's just I have a leak right about down there where my finger is. I have to get a light in there, but that's where my head gasket's leaking. I don't know if I can zoom in. Maybe give you a little bit closer look and see. See that drip in there? Where my leak is at. But at least the engine runs, and By the way, I get a brush guard with it, which is pretty cool. Those things are $350 alone. There's the new battery, and there's the engine on this side, and it idles really smooth. I don't have any strange noises or anything that sticks out or gives me a red flag. So over the next few days, I'm going to go ahead and pull this engine apart and put the new head gasket on. So this is just a kind of an update on the Land Rover. Nothing special here, as I start to get my life back together after a brutal 2 to 3 weeks of bad weather. I just got so far behind I couldn't do anything outside. And none of the windows leaked, by the way. So, all right, so we'll go ahead and shut it off. I'm going to change this oil, and we'll look at it and see how bad it is. And listen to the engine run there. The antifreeze is really low because it's leaked out. It's a beast. Little V8. Okay, so go ahead and get the oil changed and see what it looks like. I'm sure it's pretty bad. Alright, she's raining slowly. See, the oil is nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. And also you can see where my head is leaking on the gasket there. Or the gasket's blowing, I don't know. It's just a reminder that, hey, you got some work to do. But got the oil out of it, so now I go ahead and change that filter real quick, and we'll put some new oil in it and start it back up a little bit, and see what we get, see what it does, see if oil pressure comes up any. Seems like it has pretty decent oil pressure, but I'm always worried about when it warms up and gets down to idle, 600 RPMs. If your engine's really wore out, sometimes the oil will flicker. So, but also, a lot of times also, it's just bad oil. You need to put a little bit thicker oil in and clean up the oil. So, I don't know. All right, there's the oil. Man, that is some nasty stuff. You know, people, you need to learn to change your oil if you want your engines to last a long time. So that's, we got the oil changed. So I got the oil filter on it. Actually, I got the oil out, and I put the new oil filter on. And now I'm going to go ahead and put some oil in it, and we'll start it back up. That's some nasty stuff. All right, oil's changed, and it's running pretty good. Purring like a kitty. Except for the leak down there on the block where the head gasket is. I just mainly wanted to run it for a while, make sure the heater is working, the antifreeze is circulating through the engine. I've got heat on the inside. I won't have heat for very long because it's leaking, but you can see some of the water flying out of there. It's kind of getting thrown out by the belts, and as you can see on the temperature gauge, it's getting up there a little bit. I'm gonna have to check and see if they put a thermostat in it, but I tell you what, I've got some really good heat in here, which is nice. I don't have no more flickering oil light. When your oil light starts to flicker and you come up to a light, always check your oil. If it's black, change it out with a little bit of thicker oil, and it usually takes care of the problem. But it's idling like a kitten. I got the airbag, I got this anti-lock light on, and the check engine. I know what's wrong with the check engine. I've got a code for this guy right here. But, well, there's an update on it. I'll start working on this in the next couple of days and get the new head gaskets on it and start driving it. It should be fun to drive. Give you one more look at it there. Okay, there's one more thing I want to show you guys, talk about here real quick before I end the video. Okay, now I've got the video shut, I got the engine shut off, and for this video, last clip here, I wanted to show you something. If you ever go buy a new car, always check, or any car, always pull the oil cap off and check. If you see anything like this, any kind of moisture, run. I don't care. Call a taxi, call a friend, get out of there, unless you want to start tearing the engine apart and maybe replacing a head gasket or a head or something. Now, obviously I know I've got a leak, and this is what happens when you blow a head gasket. Sometimes the moisture will get mixed in with the oil, and right where the cap is, you'll see that moisture collecting on that cap. So beware, my friends. And if you're new to the car world, this is one of the first things you want to check. So I just want to kind of pass that along. And if you look down in there, you might be able to see some of the yellow moisture getting in there. This is why I'm going to be popping the heads off on this Land Rover. Alright guys, well that's it. Thanks for watching the video. I'll give you guys some updates a little bit longer. Hopefully this nice weather will continue. But I know by Saturday, 2 days from now, 3 days, it's going to turn cold. But I'll have it in the garage then. So thanks for watching, and have a good one. I'll see you guys later. Till my next video. Talk to you then.